Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a video that I know you all love, and that is going to be my August income report, all the money that I made from August on KDP. First off, one thing I want to address, I know that you guys have noticed that I don't do a ton of these anymore. I did like 2 of them at one point and I haven't really done any since. I've got a whole plethora of reasons for that, but basically just to sum it up, it's mainly because my having created those 2 previous income reports, I essentially showed you guys all my best performing books, and because a whole ton of people saw them, that means there were also a bunch within that mix who created a bunch of books within those niches as well that were my top performing niches. So basically in the areas that I was doing super well, I added a ton of competition to them just by telling you guys that I was doing well in those areas, which to be fair is kind of a risk I was willing to take, but I wasn't exactly expecting it to the degree that it occurred. But anyway, it happened. I've not been out of shape about it. I'm just basically not going to be revealing the books that I create anymore, which kind of makes me sad because I've created some lovely books I wish I could show you guys, but they've been performing really well and I don't want to kill their success. But I'll try and give you a general idea. Like for example, August, almost 100% of my money came from composition books. Composition books have always been my favorite to create. They're easy and they look so darn cute when they're done. I definitely do need to branch out into more niches as well, but given it was August, I was putting a lot of emphasis into composition books. Now that Q4 is coming up, I'm going to try my hand more at planners and things like that. But anyway, you guys are here for my August income report and I am going to deliver. So let's go take a peek. Alrighty, welcome to my laptop in the lovely world of KDP. First off, we are going to look at my orders and then I'm going to show you my grand total royalties from August. So just see here, I've got pulled up, I've got the newer orders, Kindle Direct Publishing, and I also have the older reports here. I'll show you why, because if I pop over here to orders, it says that I made 78, which believe it or not is actually not true, which is really interesting. It seems like all the kinks haven't been worked out of this newer reports. It was in beta for a while. Now this is the official one, and reports old will take you over to this guy, but that actually seems to show the correct info. I don't know, it seems like in this one a lot of books kind of trip over themselves and it gets a little jumbled. So I did make more than 78. 78 is still really good though, but I did make more than that. If I come over here to my old reports dashboard, you'll see all the sales that I've made here. I made a good chunk, especially at the beginning of August, and then closer to school it kind of dwindled a little bit, and now that basically back to school season is over, I got to start working on some new stuff. But August did go well, and I'm gonna show you all that in just a second. But basically I ran the numbers. Essentially what I did is I downloaded the report from the old reports dashboard, which thankfully you can still do, and then opening it up in Excel I did equal sum and then just tallied up all the units sold, and we've got a grand total of 162, which works for me. That is a good number. I would like to note I did not make as many sales as last year, a little bit disappointing to me, but I did make a ton of sales on new books that I created. I think with last year, because I created a whole ton of books that did really well, that didn't have as much competition, and because I created them right around that time, it kind of gave them a boost in the rankings. So all my popular books from last year, they were a little bit more buried. Thankfully I still did make sales on them, not as much as last year, but I created a bunch of new composition books which are literally so adorable. Again, I wish I could show you because I'm so proud of them, but I don't want to pollute the competition there. And I can also tell pretty easily just by scrolling up on the sheet, which I'm not going to do now because I don't want you to see all the information on here. But obviously all my books from last year had ISBNs, and my books from this year only had ASINs, no ISBNs. And scrolling up, you'll see that there are a lot of books that I have sold that don't have ISBNs. It's just an empty slot there. So that is something that is worth noting. For any of you who just think it's impossible to make sales nowadays, especially given the new change, how books don't have ISBNs, especially with all the competition that there is now, you can totally still make sales. It's all about finding the right niche, the right keywords. You have to be willing to put in some effort, do some digging, and you will find the right niches for you. Because I certainly found them within composition books and they've been doing super well for me. I love how they came out, and I hope that the people who have bought them love them as well, because I'm super proud of them, and they are doing really well on Amazon. They come up like right at the top. So again, I didn't make as many sales as last year, but I still have a lot of that consistency, and I just need to keep working on boosting that. Okay. So now you've got an idea of my orders. We're gonna hop over and I'm gonna show you my royalties now. And boom, $207.15 were my royalties from August. Again, you can kind of see that spike in the beginning, so it traced off at the end. And that means I gotta start working on some more niches. Yeah, thankfully, KDP, the newer reports, it does accurately show my royalties, same as over here, $207.15. Same with the spreadsheet. I tallied it all up. It all came out just the way it was supposed to. I'm really happy with this number. Sure, it is not life-sustaining, but it's definitely a good chunk of extra money that I made passively just with all the books that I have created over time that I super duper love. And again, I gotta keep working on this number because I've been sitting around close to this number, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't make as much as last year. But the fact that I was able to make a lot of sales on my newer books from this year does give me hope, because I know that I can create great books in great niches that make good sales. So really, I gotta just buckle down and create some new stuff. Composition books have always kind of been my fallback, but I really want to branch out and start working on new stuff. I've probably been saying that for a while, and it is true. I do need to start working on some new stuff. But again, I'm happy with this number. Can't complain about an extra 200 bucks. But there's a lot of room for growth. So I gotta work on playing with this as well. Also, one thing I will share, just in case it's something that you're interested in, my book that made the most sales for me in August, it gave me 40 bucks just from that one book. And then second place brought in 36, and third place brought in 29. So I would say that it was a few main books that brought in the most money, but there are definitely a few outliers that brought in 1 or 2 sales, and you certainly can't overlook those as well. So this is kind of just an all around from a little of everything, and I wish I could show you those books, but hopefully that is about as much information as is important without divulging any niches. Feel free to ask any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer. But yeah, this is how much I made. Happy with it, but I still want to work on growing it. Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that it inspires you a little bit. I really enjoy creating books on KDP. It's definitely not my main source of income, but something that I love doing, and I think it's fun that I'm able to make a good chunk of money out of it in the process. So for any of you creative souls out there who love notebooks, who love to create, KDP is the place for you. And I really hope that this video inspires you and gave you that desire to really pump out some high quality books, because you can totally see success on there. And even if you only sell one book, it can be really exciting to think of that one person who saw your book, who loved it, who purchased it, and is now writing in it all their notes, thoughts, memories. It's just such a heartwarming feeling, and I know it's simple, and it can be a process to make money. Whether the amount I've made seems like a lot to you or like a little to you, regardless, there's definitely money in KDP, and it's really fun too. If you don't enjoy the process, KDP isn't for you, because it does take a little while to start making money, but I find it very fun, and I hope that you do as well. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. I would super duper appreciate it, and I would love to have you. Alright guys, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye!